Hey everyone, in this video I want to share with you a popular t-shirt style that I've been noticing lately on Etsy. I'm calling it vintage photo, and there's a bunch of them. I'm going to show you with Profit Tree how many sales these are making. Then later in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own with AI. I will give you the prompt and everything. And then at the very end of this video I'm going to show you what it looks like on a t-shirt. We're going to place it on a t-shirt in Printify. I'll show you some of the colors and types of t-shirts that most people are using on Etsy. So lots to see in this video. Let's get into Etsy first, and I'll show you all the different examples of this t-shirt style that's really popular right now. All right, so here I am on Etsy.com. Yours may look different, but you can see I've been looking at some of these already. We got the raccoon and cats and some other cats. The idea behind this is that it's funny. I think that's why it's selling, is because like where else would you find a raccoon eating pizza with sunglasses, right? It's made up, AI, totally funny. I think the shock value is what we're going for. So the way I found it is I just did graphic t-shirt, and then I hit enter, and we're gonna see all the different graphic t-shirts. This is by Etsy, right? We just did a search. And then you can see the highlights here that are going on. Well, this is not one of them. This is a photo realistic thing, black and white. Here's one with Barbie. Of course, you can't do Barbie, but you get the idea. People don't mind buying these with just a rectangle with the photo in it, and sometimes words, but most of the time just a rectangle with a photo. Got 15 sales according to Profit Tree. Now, if you don't have Profit Tree, you won't see this. I'm gonna have to move myself here. So this is Etsy Radar with Profit Tree. And right now, Profit Tree has a deal with $67 lifetime deal. They still have it, still doing it, and you can see these things with it. So that's what I'm using. I've mentioned it before, but I want to show you that the reason why this is really powerful is you know that you can see that this is actually selling. This made 27 monthly sales already, and 40 in the carts, 40 plus in people's carts. It's hot now, and more than 100 people actually viewed it. So that's some of the badges you get. This is also Profit Tree right there, but look how much revenue this is getting. 3K in revenue. This is another one, kind of photorealistic. Not really a square. I think they like got rid of the black background, but here's one in the square, 27 sales. Like these are popping up everywhere. Here's the other one with the raccoon, 74 sales, over 3K in revenue again. Is that the same one? Yeah, that's the same one as that one. Let's look at this one. Well, you can't do Adam Sandler, but the idea is still the same, right? Just a tall photo. And of course, you can't do this again, but you can see the style, the vintage style is the same. Here's a cat with a cigarette. That one keeps coming up here. I think maybe there's copycats. Not sure if it's the same one. Vera Apparel. Let's see. No, yeah. See, this is by a different person. Interesting. We got some copycats. That's Vera Apparel. Let's see. So that's not a photorealistic, but you get the idea. There's a bunch of them that are photos that are just in one, and you could do 3x3 photos, but I'm going to show you how to do just the one. So here's another one. This is the Hangover movie, but it is a vintage photo. You can't do Hangover, obviously, but you can see that. And here's another one, Gilmore Girls. It has text, which I think would be really cool to do too, but yeah, you can't do Gilmore Girls, obviously, but you could replace these with cats and it could be Thug Life still. So I'm going to show you the prompt where to do this. It's going to be in ChatGPT, but I want to show you one more thing before we go. I think a lot of these are doing it on a certain kind of t-shirt as well. So let's go back to the raccoon here. Yeah, you see that? Comfort Colors, I think, if you click on it. Yeah, Comfort Colors right there. Comfort Colors chart. I believe most people are using the Comfort Colors. Let's get out of here and let's try another, but that's still the raccoon. Let's see if this one is Comfort Colors. Oh, this one's doing Gildan and Comfort Colors. So I think it works either way. And let's look at some of the colors. White, we got black, we got like a natural, we got some sweatshirts, and it's real simple. It's in a box. And I know a lot of people are saying, do people actually buy t-shirts that are just, that's it, it's in a rectangle? Usually no, but in this case, we're seeing sales. Like the data's here that says it works. So usually it takes a lot more than just putting a picture on a square and putting it on a t-shirt. But for some reason, since this is funny vintage photos, maybe it works. I'm not going to say that these will guarantee you sales. I'm just showing that these have sales and these other ones have sales, and they're doing kind of the same thing. Now, if you want to do it like this, where it kind of blends into the background, I think that's cool. You can see that that works too, but I'm not going to show you how to do that. But this is kind of the same thing with a photo, but then they blurred out the edges, not the actual edges. Let's check this one. See, this one is on the back, and it's just one. Now, of course, you can't do the light beer, but you could do a dog like this, and so on. So, okay, that's enough for examples. Again, if you want to see this, use Profit Tree. This is the Etsy radar on Profit Tree, and it works like that. So you can really see what works. And we're going to look at more of these in the future, like other graphic ones. But I just typed in graphic t-shirt. That's it. And look how popular it is. I would say like 30% of them are kind of that style, maybe less. But there's a bunch of them that are that style. So let's learn how to make this style. I'm going to go into ChatGPT right now, and I'll show you the prompt that I'm going to use and some examples that I came up with using this prompt. All right, so here I am on ChatGPT. Now you don't have to use ChatGPT, you can use any AI. I'm going to show you the prompt that I got from ChatGPT. I had ChatGPT write this prompt. I know I'm saying ChatGPT way too much, but here it is right here, a realistic vintage style photograph of and this is where you can substitute the animal doing things. So I have the animal, a calico cat with sunglasses playing video games. So you could put in a dog doing this, or a raccoon eating a pizza, and we'll show you some of these things. And then captured in a candid documentary style, the scene feels like a found photograph from the 1970s, early 90s, muted, washed out colors, and so on. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but that's it. And I did an aspect ratio of 1:1, which is a square, which I see most of them are squares. So you can cut it any way you want. But when I did this, this is the result I got of the cat on the couch. It's so funny with the glasses. I think that's what we're going for, is funny. So think of an animal doing something that's funny. And I think most of the time it's animals. Of course, you don't have to do animals, but I think the ones that we saw were, a lot of them were animals doing something funny. So that's what I suggest you do. If you can think outside of the box of people doing something funny, or just funny photographs or whatever, I think that would work too. But the idea was funny animals. Now here I added a backwards cap. I think that added to it. And then I added more of a 70s filter, which is darker, which we saw some of the dark ones on the dark designs, where I could probably blur out the edges if I wanted to just focus on the cat. I think that could be cool too. And I'll show you how to just take this. We're going to do it real easy and just download it and put it on a t-shirt later, and I'll show you how to do that. But let me show you some other ones just to get your brain thinking of different things. Here's one where I put 3 dogs dressed like they are going to skiing. And there you go. I think that's funny too. I just added another 70s filter on this one, and I think that would be great on a t-shirt, especially now because it's winter. Think of winter sports and winter things. I think it would be really good. And it doesn't have to be dogs or cats. It can be raccoons, and we'll see this one is a raccoon. So this one is a raccoon eating pizza. That's all I did. This is the difference in the thing. And so there it is, raccoon eating pizza. You can see in this one it added a border, but that's okay because we can erase the border pretty easy. Just cut it out. Give the raccoon sunglasses, which it did, and then give this a vintage filter, 70s filter. And then I asked it to make it a little more dark, and it did. So I kind of like the original though, this one, or the one with the glasses. I kind of like that. I think that one turned out the best. So I would try different filters on it and see which one turns out the best. It does it pretty quick. So 2 more. Here's the bear, thinking of Chicago Bears, but not really Chicago Bears. And you notice the colors in a vintage. And I asked it to face forward, which we can do. You can change where the camera angle is. And I think this makes a better photo, is it looking right at the person. So this would be a fun one too, especially with football. He's holding a football, which is funny. Maybe it's a group of animals watching football. Maybe it's 2 rivals watching football. You could put a bear and a ram or whatever on here. I think would be fun. Vintage cat photo. Here's another one, a black cat holding a white mug coffee. Here's one that I started with. I asked it to um, remove the shirt. I don't know why I put a shirt on there. I didn't ask it to put a shirt. And then I saw this one on here, so I just used it as a reference, even though it's different. I wanted the facial expression, you see. It wasn't that much different, honestly, so it didn't help that much. And then I thought maybe black and white photo, that would be really cool. All right, so since we got this one, I'm gonna just download this black and white one. I'll go here and you hit save like that. And I'll show you how to edit it in Affinity, which is free. You can use it, or Photopea, which is free. All I'm gonna do is cut out the edges and make it straight like we saw there. We could put it on like this, just as is, but most of the ones that we saw were just straight edges, so I'll do that. And by the way, let me put this right here on there bigger. Here it is, the actual prompt that you can use. You can copy my prompt and substitute the animal and the activity with whatever you want. Have fun with this. I think this would be really cool. So let's get into Affinity real quick. I'll chop up the edges and then bring it back into Printify, show you what it looks like on a t-shirt. All right, so here I am in Affinity, the free Affinity by Canva. I mentioned a bunch of these in videos before. It's totally free. I'll put a link in the description where to get this. You can see that there's vector, pixel, layout. I'm just gonna drag in the PNG that I did from ChatGPT. It opens it up here. And then we're just gonna do the square thing here, a rectangular marquee. And I'll hold down Shift to make sure that it's a square. And we're gonna go edge to edge here. Wait, that doesn't actually make it a square. Never mind. We're gonna just eyeball it here. So there we go. So that's what we want. So we're gonna do the inverse, and the shortcut for this is Command Shift I. You'll notice now there's the dotted lines on the outside. I can just hit delete, backspace, boom, that knocks it out right there. So this is all we need. Now this is a really small size. This is 1024 by 1024, but the detail's really good, and mainly you want a blurry photo anyway, so you could upscale it if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna stretch it just to show you what it is. So if we're missing a step, you wanna upscale it, use dgb.lol or some other upscaler, or I mean, you could stretch it because I think the vintage photo is supposed to be kind of blurry anyways. So I'm just gonna export this PNG right here at the top right, export, and we're gonna call this cat with coffee. And we're gonna hit save. All right, so let's get a Printify right now, and I'll put it on a t-shirt so you can see what it looks like. All right, so here we are on Printify. You'll need to sign up for Printify if you don't have it already. This is my Etsy store on Detour Shirts. So I'm gonna go to catalog just to show you the different t-shirt selections they have here. They do have that Comfort Colors 1717. It's one of their best sellers, but they also have that Gildan that we talked about earlier. And this Gildan, there's also this jersey one, which is trending, which is kind of neat. I like Bella Canvas, but there's a bunch of other ones. So I think anything right here that says bestseller or trending, you can choose it. I'm gonna just do Comfort Colors for now. And then I like choosing manually this Monster Digital and start designing here. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drag in that PNG that we did, that we saved. Now this one's gonna be smaller because I didn't upscale it. So I'm just gonna upscale it this way. It's not really upscaling. So it's gonna be more pixelated, which could be fine. But if you wanna be careful, I would upscale it beforehand. You can see I'm at 300%, which is not really the best here, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on here. So I got the white. We can select other colors. Remember black was a good one. What did we see? Oh, we saw ivory, which I called natural. I think some of the other ones are called natural. Let's see, we're missing colors here. I'm gonna put myself over here. Any other one of these colors I think would do. I think navy would be good too. So I'm gonna click on that. And let's, whoa. That was too much. I'm gonna do a preview and show you what it looks like. Now, I think that may be too big. Let's see what it looks like on a person. Yeah, that looks a lot bigger than what we saw on here. So adjust a little bit, center that. I like to do this center just so we know, but the lines kind of tell you. And then let's look again, preview what it looks like. So now it's recalculating the size. I like to see it on a person because that's what we see on the mock-ups. That feels better to me. So yeah, that looks a lot better. And let's see what it looks like on black. Yeah, I think that kind of matches what we've seen, and it has that custom colors right here like we saw on the mock-up of the other one. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now you could vary the what you want on the sides, like if you want a jagged edge or something else, or even the photo, but we saw a lot of them with this just this straight edge, which I think would be really cool. If you want to blur out the edges, you could do that in Affinity. Let me know in the comments if you want to learn how to do this. But this is a super simple way to get a bunch of these out there. Try it with different animals and stuff. I think these colors are great. Let's go white. Yeah, black and white on white works really good. Black and white on black works really good. And then the vintage stuff works good too. Let's see this ivory one we saw other people have on here. Yeah, I think that works great too. And then navy, I think works pretty good. So those are my 4 colors. Of course, there's a whole bunch of different colors that you can choose from. I think gray would probably be okay. And let's see, anything else like that. I don't know about the other colors. You can try it out. And then size, I usually like going from small to 3XL, but if you like 4XL, that's fine too. Let's preview that other one, that gray. Yeah, I think gray does well too. So have fun with this one. I think this is really cool, easy way that you can use AI to do some of these things and be creative. Like use the different animals and different activities to do things that maybe humans would do that's funny, or something animals would do that's funny. I think that's the way to go. That's like the ticket why these are selling, because when other people see your shirt, they're gonna laugh and it's funny, and that's why people buy these. It's like, it makes a great gift if you love cats or whatever animal on there. And use mythical animals too. Don't just stay, like it could be a unicorn or a dragon or something like that. I think would be really fun too. So hopefully this was really helpful for you to do something different this year and try it out with this photo or vintage photo style. So there you go. There's everything you need to know for this vintage photo style. Try it out for yourself. Try it out on Etsy or even Amazon, wherever you're selling. I think it could be really helpful. And don't forget about that prompt. I'll put it up here again so you can see it. Just copy this and switch out the names of the animals or the activity. I think that would be really fun. Now, if you want to try a different style, I made this video recently for a vintage athletic style that I found at Target. I break it all down so you can see how to do that as well. Hopefully these help you get some sales this year. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.